Today we have to talk about Bitcoin, Fed Chair Powell, rate hikes. Let's talk about all these things as Fed Chair Powell prepares for his speech at Jackson Hole today. From a technical standpoint, right before this, right before Jackson Hole speech, right? But if you look at it from a technical perspective, it's looking pretty good. You can obviously see we're bouncing off. From a RSI perspective, we're bouncing off this trend line, right? Again, it just shows that we're on track. We're on track. We're doing good things. We're doing good things. And here's another one that's showing that Bitcoin breaking above the MA10 on a monthly scale. Okay, monthly scale. So when Bitcoin does this, it's usually very, very, very bullish, because the last two times this happened, that was when Bitcoin started running up, right? Recovering, headed into a new bull market, right? That's exactly where we are right now. And lastly, so think about that. In the meantime, JP Morgan sees limited downside for crypto markets. So again, people that are predicting Bitcoin could go to 12,000, 10,000, whatever, there's just not enough cases to support it. Okay, even JP Morgan is looking at the market and looking at the futures market as well and making the determination. There's just nothing to support it. There's limited downside. And what does that mean? That means it's a good time to be buying and accumulating. That's what it means, right? Look at this. Only 5.8% of Bitcoin in circulation sits on exchanges right now. Think about that. Now, the exchange reserves has gone down to as low as 2017 levels, okay, and continues to go down. Seems like every single month it keeps dropping. All these things I've been talking to you about, like mysterious whales accumulating, right? It's having an effect on the overall circulation supply. I mean, they do it OTC again. OTC is off the order book, so you don't see immediate price spike when these guys are buying hundreds of millions or billions of Bitcoin. But it is moving Bitcoin from the overall circulation. So think about it. Of all the Bitcoins out there in existence, which isn't too much if you think about it, like 19.7 million, and most of that is lost. Not most of it, a lot of it is lost, and most of it is held, right? So right now, there's less than 6% of that sitting on exchanges. So imagine as we go through this next halving cycle, and then we go through another halving cycle, by that time, we'll probably see 1% of Bitcoin in circulating and sitting on exchanges. It's going to start dwindling really, really quickly as demand increases and supply continues to go down, right? Again, if you don't care about anything else, you don't care about macro factors, you don't care about technicals, you don't care about fundamentals, you don't care about anything, just know this. Price goes up because of supply and demand. Demand keeps on going up and supply keeps going down, right? It's that simple, and eventually the price will catch up to what I'm saying right now, right? So bottom line is there's just so much goodness to Bitcoin, and so much more will be coming, right? Here's another good thing about Bitcoin and crypto altogether. Hashkey is going to start trading in Hong Kong August 28th. Now, this was hyped up before that Hong Kong was going to open up crypto trading, right? Which is great. But what wasn't really reported was the fact that there was no exchanges that actually got all regulatory approval to do so. That's why you don't see like Coinbase in Hong Kong yet, because they're still trying to get their licenses and approvals and stuff. But Hashkey, I believe, is one of the first ones to get it. So now citizens in Hong Kong and other regions can start buying Bitcoin and Ethereum in Hong Kong. And soon you go see a number of other exchanges get there. In fact, according to this article, there's like, how many? There's 80 crypto firms right now. 80 that's trying to open up. So there's definitely a lot. And we know there's a lot of money also in Asia, in China, right? Imagine all of them also investing in 2024 with everything else. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be really awesome. Things can change really, really quickly, okay? Especially when Powell speaks. So this guy right here at around 10 a.m. So that's pretty soon. I think that may be Eastern time. I don't know what time. I think Eastern or so. If that's the case, it's pretty soon. Anyways, within an hour or so, he's going to be giving a speech at Jackson Hole. Right? It's not his usual FOMC meeting speech, but nevertheless, he's going to be speaking about the economy and whether or not more tightening is required, which means raising the Fed fund rate, right? So right now, it's looking good, and here's why. The CME prediction for the next FOMC meeting or the next press release is still 80.5% saying no to another rate hike. Okay, so that's pretty good. So most analysts are thinking still there's no need for another rate hike. We're just going to stay where we are. And also the Treasury bonds and Treasury yields have been going higher and higher as well, which is also indication that Wall Street thinks that we're not going to get another hike. They rather put money elsewhere versus putting it into bonds, right? So these two definitely gives us hope. So a lot of people are thinking that Powell's not going to say anything scary. He's going to say his usual thing that, we're not down to 2%, right? And there's still more work to be done. Now, if I'm wrong, and he's still being all hawkish, like, no, we haven't done enough. We saw an uptick on inflation last month, so it's too early to make that call. So, we need to continue to tighten more, right? I mean, if he says along those lines, that'd be bad. Then the market will probably dump. And that is not something we want right now, right? So, bottom line, we got to wait and see. But I do think he's going to be more dovish than hawkish with this. And he's just going to wait until the next FOMC meeting, which is September 20th. Okay, so we got almost a full month. That's when he will decide. But right now, it's looking pretty darn good.